This is so tragic and so predictable. Fox News is now starting to prepare its audience not for lower prices, but for higher prices. We all knew it was coming. During the period between November 5th and January 20th, Donald Trump started adjusting expectations. Well, it's difficult to bring down prices. Well, Joe Biden really messed things up for us. We're going to try, but I don't know. Now, Fox News hosts in the clip I'm about to play for you suggest that the United States really could adapt to Trump's trade wars by just making everything here. For example, what about coffee? Coffee is a fantastic example of why this nonsense is not going to work. So let's take a look at the video and then we will discuss it.
Coffee from Colombia. We actually make our own coffee here too in Kona, in Hawaii, right? There's multiple things coming out of our neighbors' countries that aren't sort of reducible to one thing. But I think that's part of what the media has been articulating this entire time, arguing that the GOP reduces humans to an identity, but really it's them shoving these countries into boxes. President Trump sees them as partners.
Yeah, what's interesting is Trump's trying to bring about a world where he'll drop the rate for companies that actually come here and make some of that stuff to 15% tax rate. So we might not have to miss coffee or whatever they think they're going to miss that we can clearly make our own, but maybe not as much of, because maybe some of those countries will come here and they'll package their stuff or distribute it from here.
So coffee is a really great example to talk through. First of all, you have to ask the question, can we even grow coffee in the United States in terms of the requirements? You got to look at the climate that coffee needs. The bean belt is between the tropics of Cancer and Capricorn. In the US, it's really Hawaii and Puerto Rico that naturally fall into that zone. There is part of California and Florida, which with very expensive irrigation and climate management could kind of be pushed into the zone where you could grow coffee. If you do that and pay what it would cost to do it, you then have your labor costs. Coffee production is labor intensive. We have higher labor costs here in the US than the major coffee exporting countries of Brazil, Colombia, Vietnam, and others. You then have to look at what about land availability. Hawaii and California have limited land that would be available for coffee, and it is way more expensive than that coffee producing land in other countries. The US is the largest importer of coffee, 1.5 million metric tons of green coffee beans last year. To produce 1.5 million metric tons domestically, you'd need somewhere between 1.5 and 3 billion coffee trees. Those need to be spaced between 1,200 and 2,000 trees per acre. So that means you need about 1 million acres, 750,000 to 1.25 million. Call it 1 million acres to do our own coffee growing. That's like all the agricultural land in West Virginia. It's like all the agricultural land in South Carolina. If you do it, the coffee will get really expensive, and then the stuff that West Virginia or South Carolina stop growing to grow coffee is also going to get really expensive. And then you have to consider, well, what's like the total additional cost? You are looking at coffee shops where drip coffee is currently $2 to $5 a cup, of $6 to $15 per cup. Okay, that's like tripling the price. If you're used to buying your beans at the grocery store for $6 to $12 per pound, you're going to be talking about $18 to $30 per pound. Can it be done? In theory. Is it economically practical? No. Is it going to just make things super expensive for Americans? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And this is why, slowly but surely, we are seeing the narrative shift to, it'll be more expensive, but it'll be American, gosh darn it. Are people going to go for this? I don't think so. And the proof that they're not going to go for it is that for all of the complaining about cheap Chinese tchotchkes and onshoring and all of this stuff, for 40 years, by decision after decision after decision, as a country, we've implicitly decided we'd rather the low prices and get the cheap stuff from China. We've decided. And so all of a sudden, if you say, hey, how about higher coffee prices immediately, and then we'll rebuild create supply chains for coffee in the US, and when it's all said and done, add inflation to it, if it takes 5 to 10 years to do it, we will then have $15 cups of coffee at your local coffee shop. Americans aren't going to go for it, and that's what Fox News is starting to prepare Americans for. Incredible stuff. Guys in my audience, I know you're tired of the chafing with traditional underwear. Our sponsor, Sheath, makes the most comfortable boxer briefs I've ever worn. If you're sick of the boxers that are too loose or the briefs that are too tight, Sheath is for you. Sheath underwear is designed with 2 special pouches in the front. Keeps everything separate in its own compartment with extra confidence that you will feel throughout the day, keeping things separate and comfortable, no more sticking and chafing. I was skeptical about the dual pouch, I admit it, but it is game changing. Everything stays where it is supposed to be, extra useful when working out at the gym, and even if you don't want to use the pouches, you don't have to. It is still the most comfortable pair of underwear I have ever owned. It will blow your mind how soft and stretchy these are, made with moisture wicking technology to keep you dry. If you were ready to take underwear comfort to a new place, a place you didn't even know it could go, head over to sheathunderwear.com/Pacman and get 20% off with the code Pacman. The link is in the description.